Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany, starting in 1935. It's June 1950. Sorry for the failure to change screens last time, but look, here we are this time. And yeah, we're in a reasonable place, I think. We've had the techs so that we can refit our existing carriers with angled flight decks and steam catapults, which is great. We're being hassled because we're not building enough. We only have these 6 light cruisers under construction. Several of them are going to be ending soon, which is also great. But these carriers need doing, and so I'm going to have a look at what that looks like. I'm going to take one of the oldest, the Otto von Liethenthal, and see what we can do with that. But here we are, slightly overweight. Let's see what we can do with what. I'm going to take the accommodation, as per usual, to spacious. Let's just leave all of this. Well, let's take the medium down to 8 and made it radar directed. We'll kill the light anti-aircraft for now. And let's go across to do angled flight deck, deck edge lifts, and yeah, do the auto angled flight deck graphic. As you can see, we might need to move some of the air defenses, make it jet capable, of course. I don't think, no, we can't do more than that. Obviously, we're ever so slightly over on our weight. We need to bring up our radar to 5. We're not going to do missiles. We're not the Soviet Union. We're not going to do ASW, although you'll notice the ASW is already 13 because of the special squadron. We're not going to do torpedoes. Let's get back to these guns. Well, let's just clear all of them and rearrange that. Well, with all the guns gone, we're still 7,000 overweight, so we're going to have to bring down some of these fighters. Let's see what gets us into the ballpark. 45. So much like the other 2 modernized carriers. So I've been doing a couple of little experiments. I could put in a whole series of 4-inch or maybe 3-inch heavy anti-aircraft guns mounted somewhat inelegantly on perhaps just the port side. But it didn't really work out, and I'd have to go down to 44 planes, and to be honest, I'd prefer 46 planes. My spot value is 27, so that's plenty. I'm going to get 2 waves of everything. Let me just check if that's all in order. I could have a better fire control. Well, I could, actually. Let me just, oh, there you are. Got a bit more space for that. Does that allow me to have 1 more precious aircraft? Go on, 1 more. No. But, fine. A little bit of buoyancy never harmed anybody. I could add some little light anti-aircraft into that. It won't do much good, but when it gets replaced by close-in weapon systems, that will be a good thing. So, I don't know. That'll just cheer people up, having the light anti-aircraft. It's the cap that's going to do all the fun. That's sort of the minimum refit. 12 months. Wow, only 366 a month. Rebuild cost of only 4,000. That's incredibly cheap. That really is very, very cheap. It does raise the question, what would happen if I replaced the machinery, aside from it being a whole world of more expense? So just out of interest, let's see, because they are getting slower, it would be nice to have that boosted. So from 4,000 and a bit, total rebuild cost, 366 a month. Ooh, from 4,000 to 34,000. Quite a bit more. Not really enough weight. Oh, okay, I could take it up to 30 knots, but not 31. What if I went diesels? Oof, no. Has to be oil and turbine. Obviously, we don't have gas turbine at the moment. Coal? No. So, yeah. So I'll see how they will do in terms of losing speed and think about replacing the machinery later. But just now, no. We're going to stick with just the angled flight deck and changes to the machinery. It's a real shame there's not an undo machinery button, but let me just redo that. Okay, so just double checking I've done everything. Angled flight deck, deck edge lifts, jet capable, 46, radar up to 5, guns completely cleared, including fire control positions, 30 light AA for morale, 8 medium AA radar directed, spacious accommodation for 366. Boom, that seems fine. That's absolutely true. I do not have any of those. So yeah, let's totally rebuild that in that configuration. And that was so inexpensive, I'll do August von Passeval as well, because why not get them all done? I mean, it's tempting to do the whole lot. They are going to take 12 months to do. I wouldn't have any carriers. Now, tensions are only at sort of 6s and 7s. 5. 5 is the worst. So it'd be a bit of a gamble, but I suppose instead I should look to producing one of the new generation CVs and see what that is going to look like. So let's auto-generate to begin with, just to give ourselves... Come on. I think we've moved... What? We've moved beyond this era. Okay, I think I'm going to have to hand build the whole thing. Here, all of that. Oh, well, that's a bit of a disappointment. I whacked up the tonnage to the maximum that could be built, and apparently that's 20% larger than the biggest carrier in the world, so I can only build a 50,400 ton carrier. So, okie dokie. 5400. Don't know why the angled flight deck button isn't buttoning. Anyhow, let's see. So it's fine with that. So yeah, this is kind of have to be a bit of an interim design. We can only get aircraft capacity up to about 60. Radar limit 6. Current radar tech is 5. Let's go to the guns. Let me have a think about this. Okay, with a little bit of tweaking, we've got no guns, a few light anti-air, might just increase those up to 20 notionally. The all-important medium anti-air. We've got 60 planes, angled flight deck, ignore the appearance. Deck edge lifts, ignore the appearance. Don't know why this auto one isn't working. Jet capable, of course. Couple of catapults. Radar limit of 6, which is nice. Given that I have to do an intermediate one, this seems fine. Speed of 29 knots, which is, lovely for it to be faster. Actually, there's some armor here. Oh, I suppose that's... And an armored belt. Yeah, okay. Good with that. A little bit of weight left behind. Would like it to be bigger. It's not allowing me to be bigger. Struggling to find remaining aviators who aren't World War II pilots. So I found Matthias Rust, who I'd forgotten about, the German youth who flew from Finland and landed in the middle of Red Square in the late 1980s, who embarrassed the Soviet Union a lot and allowed Gorbachev to sack a whole swathe of incompetent, bemedaled Soviet marshals of this, that, and the other. So there you go, Matthias. Has no fire control positions? That is true. Do you want to start? Yes. So we'll build one of those and then have it built. We'll then see what the next biggest, if we can get another 20% on top of Matthias. That's obviously just a design study at the moment, so not too expensive. We'll just roll the turn on a little bit and see what other goodies come along. Oh dear, the British and the French are still buddies. asked who do we think is most likely to war, we could just say anybody, or obviously we could pick somebody, and pick obviously would be the Soviet Union in terms of a really quick, easy war. So let's do that. Working on gas turbines. Okay. Submarine sensors, better jet engines. So come on, guys, get your research finger out. Lots of laid downs and rebuildings. Nothing of any great merit beyond the Anglo-French treaty. Here is the first of our new modern ships. Still with the gas turbine nonsense. Just look down. If we have a little look at the fleet building plan, you can see that we're doing okay because we're only in August 50 and we're already moved forward some of this. So and we've already started one of these big carriers, but smaller than I'd wished, but if that's what you have to do. So I probably just need to go back to some of these destroyers. Let's check out the almanac and see the global destroyer position. So we have 54, Britain 68, France 40, Italy 64. So we're kind of, USA 112, we're kind of a bit low, particularly given, Britain and France together have 100. So yeah, so some more destroyers would be a good thing. We did experiment with the cheaper destroyer that was like 90% of what we got for the expensive destroyer, but at considerably less cost. So let's just have a little look at what we can get for our Z114s. Well, obviously the accommodation has to be spacious. Speed's a bit slow. We were doing 33. Actually, let's cancel this and let's go back to our current dominant ship, the Z100s. Let's have a look at what they offer. So 3,000 tons, 33 knots, torpedo defense 1, spacious, 6-inch guns, slightly overweight for some mysterious problems, 4 anti-aircraft, 5 on that. Probably get rid of the depth charge throwers these days because they are going to be less and less important. Otherwise, all good as we can make it. So if that's the and cost, so if we go to build ship and look at a Z100, they cost 14,876. Press the right button. Let's pick up starting from nothing. Now you see here it says we've got 48 remaining, but on the working ship it says we're -8 or something. Let's go over here. Let's take off the depth charge throwers. Takes us down to 9. Perhaps that's a mistake for now. So what would happen if we took this down by 2,000? What do we have to lose? I think we probably have to lose the main guns down to 5-inch. Do want to take off these depth charge throwers. I think we took off some of these reloads. We lost a couple of these missiles. So this is doable, and it's only 9,500. So a big old chunk less, 600 instead of 876 a month. I'm concerned really about the gun armament being too weak. So if we look at the gun data, the 4-inch guns, they only go out to under 12,000 yards. If we take it up to 6 inches, that will give us 14,000. And I mean, 14,000 is, not super great. I mean, whilst I do like the economy a lot, it is making them into kind of one-shot or two-shot wonders. You loose your missiles, you may get your reloads off, you may then get in with your torpedoes, but they don't have much staying power. So what I'm going to do is open up the design, don't auto-design, go back to the Z100, just see if there's anything to tweak after a few techs. So having dabbled, the short answer to all of that is not really. So we will just build some more Z100s and enjoy having a more homogeneous fleet than endlessly tweaking with stuff. And still a 6,000 positive balance. So let's have a little look at the Von der Tan, which is the most modern, see what we would do with this. I'm looking at it, and aside from modernizing the air defense systems, which we can't really fully do because we're lacking SAMs, could pull down some of the secondary armament and replace it with some surface-to-surface missiles. Could add, aside from modernizing the air defense, go to 8, radar, might want to put in a couple of torpedo tubes. I know the flats aren't great. Oddly enough, that doesn't give you any ASW value. Oh well. Get rid of the aircraft. I know there's been a discussion around, well, if you do that, then, you're not really helping yourself because helicopters in the future would be a good thing. It does reclaim a bit of weight. Tricky. It doesn't feel quite as if we've got enough techs to warrant fiddling around with the battlecruisers just yet. Carry on. And there's another of our cruisers. Another tech we can't get. Another tech we can't get. Oh, 14-inch quality one. Well, that might be worth having a little look at. See if there's any news nonsense. The number of aircraft in carrier-capable units exceeds our capacity. Experience will suffer. So that's because the Otto von Lichtenthal is in dockyard hands at the moment. Let's see if I can do anything about that. So we don't really have and because they're over capacity, right? So that's not going to help either, is it? Okay, I've removed a dive bomber and a torpedo squadron and put them in the unassigned pool. I've just fiddled with the numbers slightly. As you can see, I'm keeping a pretty light strike force given the limitations of these planes against trying to get through the light jet fighters for the moment. Otto as well. Oh, of course, we've got both. So Peter Strasser as well. Okay, so that's dealt with Peter Strasser, and Richthofen is fine anyway. All right, this will slow down training of carrier certified crew. Well, they're all at a pretty good place. So I'm actually fine with these because these will form in part the beginnings of the air wing for Matthias Rust. Or maybe, ignore. Into the autumn. Another cruiser. I really should probably fiddle around with my divisions and what have you. Data for a scout plane. Come on, hit me. Radius 240 and 200 nautical miles. So let's see what that can do. Torpedo bomber. Well, the Spy's doing jolly well. 12 10-inch, that seems to be pretty normal for heavy cruisers these days. No missiles I'm seeing. New light jet fighter. So let's see, just remembering the flow plane was 240 nautical miles and 200, because they give you so many messages, it's so easy to forget. So we currently are at 544. Hello. Well, that's a fair bit better. 630 against 5, so almost 100 miles faster. Right. Well, that is coming along nicely. The range in light configuration is now 430. Well, I mean, that's a huge leap. Absolutely huge leap in capability. Similar specs for maneuverability and toughness and stuff. Also, this one's reliability is poor, so we'll be, everyone will be glad to see the back of that. So let's welcome the Henschel 191. More laying downs, lots of rebuilt ships. Some promotions taking place. 212, 240. So let's just go and build one. Boom. Now let's look at the aircraft types, look at our float plane. So oddly enough, its range is quite poor. We can manage 260. Its speed is a lot better. Now, I mean, go to aircraft groups, 12 float planes. So the effort to build a new model for 12 does seem not entirely worth it, but we've got that under development. So we can request another new one, and the other new one we were looking at was the medium bomber, which is also poor. Definitely want reliability to be emphasized. Toughness, firepower, well, not firepower, bomb load. I mean, the bombs are going to be pretty heavy, and they're all going to be able to carry missiles and torpedoes, so that shouldn't be an issue. Range is already, stratospheric for the medium bomber. Maybe speed was 400 miles an hour, which was, pretty nifty. Okay, let's go for speed to help improve its survivability. That's one requested and one under development. So that's all taken care of. We're up to 90,000 in our pocket, which is very nice. Let's go to build ships. Let's have a look at some more destroyer escorts. I think we'll have another 66. No, let's have another 6 of those on the slipway. Still piling in 5,000 a month in a very healthy way. Let's just quickly nip to November. More cruisers, more stuff they're not grasping. I'm not interested in what you can't grasp. I'm interested in what you have developed. Well, the British have invented steam catapults. So nice to see that we're actually ahead. Monthly balance up to 7,000. Oh, gorgeous. I mean, there was some discussion, did I really want another battlecruiser? It'll only be a missile magnet. But, at this point, it's tempting. I mean, I probably, obviously the carrier is, 32 months ahead. That's a long time. I might have to build another one. Can I design a carrier on the basis of this and then, I don't know, take it up a lot? So I still can't build more than 50,400, even though I've got one under construction. So that kind of implies that I've got to wait for 29 months before this is ready. For some reason that's advanced. I don't think I want to pay the normal construction pace. Well, actually, so what does it cost? If I go to accelerate, that'll knock off 3 months. Currently I'm at 7,000. It is quite expensive for a few more months. So let's go back to normal. And instead, it looks like we're going to have to build a second one of these. Let's pick a name. They're pretty restricted names for German aircraft carriers for some reason. So we'll stick with Europa. That'll fine for now, and I might pick another name, or if you can suggest a better name, please do. Okay, so that's taking it down to 2,000. So our funds will increase, but not in a reckless way. Carry on. And there's the Emden. Above average, poor seems to have overstrained the engine. Blucher, what should we do? No, he should be cashiered. Sorry, we're not losing a prestige. Okay. No to all the air bases. Nothing much here. I mean, you can see actually the tensions are just fine. So that's December. So one more month, and then we'll call it quits and start with an annual review next time. Reducing the budget. Okay. Let's see what that does to our 2,700. No interest. Nothing much to worry about. And yeah, it's wiped out to 2,000. Well, I guess it can't be helped. I could have been a bit more aggressive. Well, I was. I said the Soviet Union were a problem, but they don't seem to have taken the bait. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll start with a fleet review. We'll have a look at the building to date. We've got this 106,000 fund, so I probably should be building something. What would you like me to build as a priority? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.